KK7AVK, Victoria and Phoenix. I think I got you already. Okay. KK4, JPW, Brian in Monticello, Kentucky. KL4RCS, Rich, Meadow Lakes, Alaska. KI7LAG, Patrick in Beaverton, Oregon. Welcome back, buddy. KC2, WLZ, Jeff in Westfield, New York. KC2, JPQ, Frank in Lancaster, New York. KK7OGC, Fred in Reno, Nevada. And KF6, HDJ, Brent in Pensacola, Florida. Question of the night. Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway. To the top, George in Cowboy, Japan, JR2, FJI.
Howdy there, Alex. Thanks for calling out. Well, actually, one place I didn't want to go to was actually Korea. I was in Korea for almost a year, teaching some German there, and I didn't like it. The Korean language is pretty nasty. The food isn't really that good either, but somehow I got used to it. I mean, I trespassed from South Korea into North Korea, almost this certain buffer zone you may not enter. I entered it. It was quite interesting, actually. So, yeah, it was good too, but do I want to go there again? No, thank you. Anyway, over to you, Alex.
Thank you, George. You're a well-traveled man, so I think you've been just about every continent, haven't you? All right, the question tonight, or for you tonight, is what do men and bats have in common? Men and bats. A, we like to sleep hanging upside down. B, we can echolocate objects by making sounds. Or C, we come out of our caves at sundown to look for food and sex. What do men and bats have in common, George?
I mean, I could go into details, but then I know wouldn't definitely be welcome on the net there, so I'll go with it for good. Okay, Alex, thanks for doing the net. We all appreciate it. Say howdy to your wife and have a good evening. I'm here right in the middle of moving right now, so I'm pretty busy. 73 GR2 FGI Porto, going here. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, thank you for stopping long enough to join the net, George. And although you may sleep hanging upside down, come to think of it, I may have done it once or twice. The answer is men and bats have this in common. We don't come out of our caves at night. We can echolocate objects by making sounds. Did you know people could do that too? An American researcher has taught blind children around the world how to echolocate by making a clicking noise with their tongue to detect objects. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Thank you, George. Let's go to Little Al in Monterey, California, N6MOT. How about Little Al? What's one place you've been to that you didn't want to go to that you wound up enjoying anyway? N6MOT. Little Al.
N6MOT, Little Al here. Go ahead, I kind of missed it.
No problem. Question of the night. Name one place you didn't want to go to that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Oh, I got that. A Brooks and Dunn concert over in Mountain View. I did not want to go. Ended up going and had a great time. It was a real good concert. So, Brooks and Dunn up in Mountain View.
I remember them. Yeah, Brooks and Dunn. Thanks, Little Al. All right, your question. Which movie featured the lead character instigating a prison riot by holding up a glass of wine in the mess hall and exclaiming, "This Chateau de Blanc 68 is supposed to be served lightly chilled. This is room temperature. What do you think we are?" Was that from A, the Shawshank Redemption, B, the Naked Gun 33 and a third, or C, the Wine Man of Alcatraz? What movie is that from?
I want to go with the Wine Man, but I'm going to go with the Naked Gun 33 and a third. Alex, you have a good night. N6 MOT.
And that's it. Yeah, the Naked Gun 33 and a third. Leslie Nielsen's character, Frank Drebin, spoke the line. Now, the joke behind the joke here is that Chateau Blanc is a highly sought-after wine that sells for over $1,000 a bottle. However, 1968 was a bad year for grape growing, so the implication is that the wine company was planning it off to prisons. I love movies that pay attention to such asinine details. That's great. Thank you, Little Al. Dave in Portland, KK7HLD. How you doing, Dave? One place you didn't want to go to that you wound up liking anyway?
Boy, that's a tough one. I would say that whatever that place was, my stroke erased that memory from me, and I don't have a clue.
Well, they can come in handy for bad places, but I guess, yeah, that's... Anyway, well, sorry about that, Dave. If you think of something later, let me know. And your question is... okay, I got the weird news trivia of the week for a piece of work by artist Maurizio Catalan titled The Comedian was recently auctioned at Sotheby's in New York for $6.2 million. What does the artwork depict? A drawing of a stick figure that resembles a clown. B, a crayon drawing of comedian Rodney Dangerfield. Or C, a banana that's duct taped to a wall.
KK7HLD. Well, boy, that's a tough one. I don't think the duct tape to the wall sold for that much, so... And Jenny doesn't know why, so I'll just guess A, because what the heck? KK7HLD.
Well, thank you, Dave and Jenny. It's actually, no, it's, believe it or not, C. And Maurizio Catalan's banana duct to a wall sold for $6.2 million in an auction. Justin Soon, a Chinese collector and founder of a cryptocurrency platform, acquired the work. This is not just artwork, Soon said in a press release. It represents a cultural phenomenon in rigid fields of art, memes, and cryptocurrency community. I believe this piece will inspire more thought and discussion in the future and will become a part of history. As the winning bidder, he received a roll of duct tape and one banana, as well as a certificate and official instructions for installing the work. Now, prior to the sale, Sotheby's confirmed that neither the tape nor, thankfully, the banana are the originals. Personally, I think this guy just had so much money he wanted to make a statement by spending $6 million on a banana taped to the wall. Thanks. Thank you, Dave. Mike, San Diego, KN6MIK. Name one place you didn't go that you wound up enjoying anyway, like maybe a Sotheby's auction.
Good evening, Alex. KN6MIK, Mike here in San Diego. Always a pleasure. You know, Alex, I'm racking my brain and I can't for the life of me figure out any place that I've been. I haven't had a decent time or made the best of it. If I do think of something, I'll email it to you. Go ahead, brother. Hit me with your question.
Well, there might be so many, it's hard to narrow it down to one. Anyway, your question is, Name that tune, Mike. Reach if your cup be empty. If your cup is full, may it be again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. A, Ripple by the Grateful Dead. B, Gone with My Wind by the Dead Kennedys. Or C, Smoking Banana Pills by the Dead Milkmen. Which dead group did that?
Well, I'm going to take a stab, Alex. It sounds something like C would do. KN6MIK, back to you.
Sorry, Mike, that who would do?
The band that you titled on answer C.
Yeah, the Dead Milkmen, Smoking Banana Pills. Right. Actually, Ripple by the Grateful Dead. I'm showing my age again, aren't I? Anyway, I don't think I've ever heard anything by the B and C groups, but I'm sure that's my loss. Thank you, Mike. Wes in Grants Pass, Oregon. Wes, you probably would have got that one. Wes, name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Alex, crowd. I had to work in China on a big surveillance system. I went there a number of times over the years. I didn't really want to go work. But the food wasn't bad, or the hotel was marvelous. And it's one great massage that I'll never forget. So, wasn't too bad after it was all told. Back to you, K86EI.
Well, hopefully they used only the best essential oils on you. Wes, your question is, researchers have found that cows produce more milk when listening to this piece of music. A, Beethoven's Pearl Symphony. B, AC/DC's Shook Me All Night Long. Or C, Squeezebox by The Who. What do you say, you?
Oh my God. Because I think they did this study on ants, and they grow better with classical music, so maybe the bovine persuasion are calmed rather than agitated, maybe. I don't know. What say you? Anyway, back to you. KEIR.
Yes, the classical music is correct. Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony. Hope everyone got the box by the Who joke. Thank you, Wes. Matt, Wilsonville, Oregon. KJ7TVF. Matt, name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening, Alex. Thanks for hosting the net. Sometimes I can be a real stick in the mud, so if I think I'm not going to enjoy something, I end up not enjoying it. So I'll say that on that.
The popular answer so far. Thanks, Matt. Your question is, in ancient Egypt, this was often used as a contraceptive. A, honey. B, crocodile dung. Or C, photos of Whoopi Goldberg.
Well, the obvious answer is C, but actually I'm going to go with Bravo. KJ7 TV, back to you.
Which is correct. Yeah, in ancient Egypt they used crocodile dung as a contraceptive. Egyptian women would mix crocodile poop with sour milk to form a dough that was inserted into their private part as a barrier. Yep, that would do it. I think so. Hey, Matt, this is W7FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona. You listen to the Stern Trivia East Coast Reflector. Over to Robert in Kelly Ridge, Australia, VK2 DY. One place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway. What say you, Robert?
VK2DY here, Robert. I was thinking about this, and I want to say Vietnam, and the explanation is I came within months of a free government-sponsored trip to Vietnam, and a lot of my friends had trips to Vietnam as well. Didn't come back from. So back in the 90s, when the tourism opened, I was reluctant to go, and went anyway, and really enjoyed it. Been there now half a dozen times, but it was really sort of a psychological overcome growing up with more. So it was So I'll give you that answer. That's sort of a longish answer. BK2DY.
Yeah, I was on that list too. Actually, my birthday came up as the #1 draft pick that year, and Nixon ended the draft just in the nick of time. But I would have signed up. I wouldn't have let him draft me. But all right, your question, Robert, is these are banned in California, Hawaii, New York City, and Washington, D.C. due to their aggressiveness and wild nature. What are we talking about? A, pit bulls. B, ferrets. C, Republicans.
Be any one of the three, giving you choice of cities, places. I'm torn between ferrets and pit bulls, though. Well, it's a difficult one, but I'm gonna have to pick one, so I'm gonna go with ferrets. Probably pit bulls, though. VK2D1.
Torn between, indeed. Ferrets, you got it. Need a lot of care and can take over native wildlife that they escape. They're kind of like weasels, you know. I mean, that's you got Kevin, Anaheim, California, HA6EE. Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening. I'm still speechless from the crocodile dung contraceptive. I don't think I've ever gone there and enjoyed it later, but you never know. Whew. Anyways, sorry, just having some fun. I can't think of a place off the top of my head, but I do remember that my ex and I went to the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore. We were out there traveling, and we thought, we'll run by there for an hour or so, and we ended up spending about 6 or 7 hours there. It was a fascinating museum. If you ever get a chance to go check that out, well worth the price of admission, and you can probably find it on the internet too. Find out all the exhibits. I was mostly by covered wagons. They had covered wagons from the 1800s, and like a Wells Fargo wagon, horse-drawn carriage wagon thing, you know, like in all the Western movies. And they were original, and I thought, wow, people use this to travel across the country. I definitely would have survived that. Anyways, throw me a question. AJ6EE.
Yeah, the only B&O Railroad I've ever seen is on the Monopoly board, but there is something like that in Kingman, Arizona. There's like a museum, railroad museum, and they have the old stuff from the late 1800s, which is kind of cool. So, and we'll check yours out if I get out that way. And your question is, here we are. The city of Portland, Oregon's name was decided, A, by a vote of its residents in 1885, B, by the fact that it has a seaport, or C, by a coin toss?
I'm trying to look in the file cabinet of my memory. The obvious one is because there's a port there. I have a suspicion there was a coin toss involved, though. So I don't know why. I'll go with C. Thanks so much, AJ6 Echo Echo.
You know, just like Sholo, Arizona, which was decided by a card game, Portland, Oregon, was decided, the name was decided by a coin toss. Yeah, the two of the city's founders, Boston, Massachusetts, and Portland, Maine. They wanted to name the city after their hometown. The guy from Maine won the toss. By the way, I heard that Oregon has decriminalized both marijuana and hard drugs. It looks to me like drugs is winning the war on drugs. Personal opinion. Thanks. Thank you, Kevin. Alex in Pasadena, KD5AJZ, named one place you didn't want to go to that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Hello, Alex, and everyone else on the net. I ended up having to take a job in the U.S., and they sent me to Belgium for about 3 years, a couple of months there, come for a while and go back. And I thought I would never want to go to that country, and it turned out to be a fascinating place to go, a bunch of culture shock, and lived there for a couple of years, learned very little Dutch, but had a very good time. Liked the event, so it was pretty cool. I'm ready for my question, Alex. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that would be one of the countries I'd want to visit if I was in Europe. They speak Dutch and French and German, too. It's kind of a mixture of, if I understand, I don't know what the dominant language is, but... Okay, Alex, your question is... The Vatican once investigated child actress Shirley Temple to see if A, she was a Mormon, B, she was being abused by Hollywood directors, she was, by the way, or C, she was a midget. What were they checking Shirley for there in the Vatican?
Let me have that third one again, Alex. I didn't quite catch that.
See, she was a midget, a little person, an adult posing as a child. What's the...
It's weird. B is true, so I'll have to go with C. And you're right, there are 3 languages there. There really isn't any dominant one. Dutch is a little... depends on what border you're near as to what language was spoken. Like I said, interesting place. Enjoy the net as always. Glad to be back. Thank you. KD5AJZ, out on your phone.
Thank you, Alex. Well put, and you're correct. Yeah, the Vatican investigated Shirley Temple to see if she was a midget or an adult posing as a child. Father Silvio Masante visited the Temple family to ask about the rumor and found out it was obviously not true. So, by the way, if you want to try something different, go to a bar and order a Lindsay Lohan. It's like a Shirley Temple with a lot of Coke. Thanks, used to, so don't blame Lindsay Lohan completely for the way she is. Okay, Blasdell, New York, KBYU. How you doing, Roy? Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway. BYU, Roy and Blasdell, do we have you? Okay, maybe later. Stephanie and Larry, Elk Grove, California, KN6JLW, KN6JLX. And then one go that you want to enjoy anyway, and don't say each other's in-laws' house.
Hey Alex, this is Stephanie, KN6JLW, and Larry, KN6JLX. Neither of us like going to either in-laws' house, so that couldn't work. Didn't want to go and didn't like it. But Larry decided my best friend's wedding was the weird place, and pretty much any social function for me, especially like the Christmas party and all those, I never want to go, and I scream and have a fit, but then I usually have fun. Go ahead.
Yes, weddings. My wife's girlfriend at work was getting married. She's Catholic, and my wife wanted me to go with her so she wouldn't have to go alone. So I did, and it was actually kind of interesting. I'm glad I went to it. I hadn't been in a Catholic church in a long time, and it was funny when the priest asked everybody to recite the Lord's Prayer. Well, all the Catholics started with "and deliver us from evil," and they stopped there. Whereas all the Protestants kept going with "for thine is the kingdom and the heaven," the rest of it. It was funny because everybody else was silent except for the Protestants, and I well, now we know where all the Protestants are, and that was kind of funny, but my wife wasn't happy. Your question, guys, is Mount Everest was once called Mount Everactive, B, at the bottom of the ocean, or C, the tallest mountain on the moon. What was Mount Everest's previous gig?
We're going with Bravo. Thanks for doing the net, Alex. Have a great week.
And you are correct. Yeah, Mount Everest was once at the bottom of the ocean 470 million years ago. It was on the seafloor as ancient fish fossils found at the summit confirm. Maybe hikers? I don't know. Thanks, guys. W7 FTM, Phoenix, Arizona, going next to KK7 ABK, Victoria and Phoenix. How you doing, Victoria? Well, name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening, Alex. This is Victoria, KK7ABK. I like to go any place. I mean, if I can travel, I'm sure I will enjoy visiting any place. So I couldn't think of anything as an adult that I have not wanted to go to. But maybe as a child, I didn't want to go to Belarus, where I had grandparents on my mother's side. I think the travel to there was very long. It was with a train that probably took, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 hours or something. But that's probably the only thing that I can think of that maybe I didn't want to go there, and I ended up liking being there. Go ahead.
Did you take the Orient Express? Okay, your question, Victoria, is French weather reporter Doria Tillier told viewers that qualified for the 2014 World Cup, she would do her weather report A, wearing a large handlebar mustache, B, hanging upside down from the ceiling, or completely naked. What did she promise if France qualified for the World Cup?
Since it's, I'm just gonna guess Charlie. I was asking the banana question because I knew that. My Facebook is flooded with jokes about this banana that sold for $6.2 million, and I was thinking this is like the best ad. But let's go with Charlie on this one and see what happens. Thanks, Alex, and have a great evening. KK780K, back to net.
Oh, those French, you're correct. Yeah, she said she would do her weather negative if the France qualified for the 2014 World Cup, and well, they did. a 3-0 win over the Ukraine, qualified them, and Tellier kept her word. That's what I call a warm front. Thanks. It's probably a better joke there, but I missed it. Thank you, Victoria. Brian in Monticello, Kentucky, KK4JPW. All right, Brian, name the one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Well, my answer being I'm mostly introverted would be outside. I claim it's the people, but really it's more so because of mosquitoes.
Brian, move away from your radio. Push the microphone away. Turn the computer off. Go outside and enjoy the sunshine. And like I do. All right, the question is, a study by researchers at the University of Sussex found that young women are most attracted to men who A, will wash the dishes, B, play contact sports, or C, are musicians. What are the ladies most attracted to there, Brian?
Well, that's a good question. I could see reasons for all three. I think ones that women that are closer to my age would appreciate more is probably A, but I'm going to go with C.
Yeah, that's probably true of married women. But no, you're correct. Yeah, the study at the University of Sussex, women are most attracted to men who are musicians. That's right. Even though Mick Jagger may be 100 years old and resembles something from Walking Dead, he will still attract more women than you or me. It turns out that women believe men who have strong musical abilities carry better genes than those who don't. I imagine Jagger's genes only exist now as the name of a clothing line. Thanks. Hey, thank you, Brian. Rich, Alaska, KL4RCS. How you doing, buddy? Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening from KL4RCS, Rich, Meadow Lakes, Alaska, 15 degrees Fahrenheit, which it was 5 below. You know, I'd have to say college. I didn't want to go, but I'm glad I did. Back to you.
Yeah, you see, we went back when they actually taught something and weren't just certain teachers weren't embedded in. I guess I won't go there. Your question, Rich, is what percentage of marriages around the world involve first cousins? Is that A, 3 to 5%, B, 8 to 10%, or C, 10 to 20% of marriages around the world involve first cousins? What do you think?
Boy, I hope it's Delta, but I'll go with Alpha. Thanks, Alex. Have a great night.
Yeah, I thought it was below 2, but 10 to 20% of marriages around the world involve first cousins. You see, marrying a first cousin does not cause a high risk of genetic impairment and actually improves the offspring's immune system, which is kind of interesting. But in America, we call people who marry the cousins hillbillies. In Europe, they call them royals. Thank you, Rich. Patrick, Beaverton, Oregon, KI7. I wonder why I don't get too many people checking in from Great Britain. Hello, Patrick. Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Well, Alex, interesting story. About 26 years ago, a friend of mine suggested moving from California to the Bay Area to Portland, Oregon, and I would have nothing of it until I visited the City of Roses. Liked it so much, I never left. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I think, Patrick, you're in a suburb of Portland just like I'm in a suburb of Phoenix, and it makes all the difference in the world. I'm living in the mains. Anyway, but yeah, it's great up there. I definitely have to get up and visit again. Your question is, why do goosebumps exist? Goosebumps. A, to slow down eating geese. B, to make the hair on our body stand up so we look more threatening to predators. Or C, no one knows.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go. I'll take a wild guess. I'll go with B Bravo. KI7LAG back to 9.
Yeah, back when most people Harrier, you anyway. That's what it did. It made the hair on our body stand up so we look more threatening to predators. It doesn't work so much these days. Carrying a Glock usually works better. You got it, buddy. Thank you. This is W7. You're listening to the Saturday Night Trivia Net on the East Coast Reflector. Going next to Jeff, Westfield, New York, KC2WLZ. How you doing, Jeff? Question of the night. Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up in.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Patrick. Moving to Westfield, New York was, didn't think I would like it. But now that we're here, we moved here in 2000, we really enjoy the small town. Back to you, Alex.
And a very gorgeous part of New York. Not at all like Manhattan, of course, as I'm sure you know, but yeah, it's not the same. And your question is, what astrological sign would you be if you were born on Thanksgiving? Hey, we just had Thanksgiving. What's A, man? A, Sagittarius. B, Scorpio. C, Cornucopia.
Strong point there. I'm going to go with A. Go with Alpha. Thanks for doing the net, Alex. Back to you.
That is correct. You'd be a Sagittarius. It runs from November 21st through December 20th, and that's the sign you would be, man. All right, thanks, Jeff. You got it. Frank, Lancaster, New York, KC2JPQ. How you doing, buddy? Name one place you want to go that wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening, Alex, and everybody on the net. I was dating a girl. She wanted to go to the Lancaster Opera House to see some kind of a play, and it got like terrible reviews, and nobody really said anything good about it. And we went, and it actually was a pretty good play. So I'll send that back to you. I'm ready for my question.
I tell you what, Frank, my wife had drugged me to another place. A few years ago, she wanted to go see Carmina Burana, that's what it is. And I like classical music. I don't really care for opera that much, but well, her sister couldn't go, and I didn't want her to go alone. And yeah, I actually enjoyed that. It was a great production, and of course, O Fortuna, was they did really, really well. So I kind of surprised me. All right, your question is, California condors can give birth without having sex. Is that A, true, B, false, or C, when you're that ugly, it's to be A?
You got me there, Alex. I'm just going to take a wild guess. I'll say false. And I'll send it back. Have a great week. Talk to you next week. KC2JPQ.
I know some women that had birth without having sex. No, it's actually true. Yeah, California condors can give birth without having sex. I guess because their population became so depleted, they figured out a way, as they said in Jurassic Park, life will find a way. Thanks. Thank you, Frank. Fred in Reno, KK7OGC. Fred, name one place you didn't want to go that wound up enjoying anyway.
KK7OGC, Fred in Reno. I never thought that I wanted to go to Death Valley, but it was cold here in Reno, and it was warm in Death Valley, and I would go back there again. That's my answer. KK7OGC. Thank you, Alex.
Well, just make sure you've got a good radiator in your car. And no, Death Valley is really cool. I've been. It's not like the Arizona desert. The Sonoran Desert is a lot more cactus plants and everything. But man, a few creosote and a few wildflowers if they get some rain. That's about it for Death Valley. But a really fascinating place. Your question is, actor Morgan Freeman says he wears earrings because A, he doesn't like to wear rings on his fingers. B, it makes his big ears look smaller. Or C, the earrings are valuable enough that if he dies in a strange place, they'll cover the cost of his burial. What did Freeman say about his earrings?
You know, I'm actually going to choose Charlie on that one. That kind of makes the most sense to me. KK7OGC, Fred Reno, back to net. Thank you again, Alex and Vicky.
And thank you, Fred, for participating. And you're correct. Yeah, Morgan Freeman says he wears earrings because they're valuable enough that if he dies in a strange place, they'll cover the cost of his burial. The most badass answer you could possibly give to that question. Hey, what are your earrings, dude? Shut up the reporter real quick. Thanks. Thank you, Fred. Brent, Pensacola, Florida, KF6HTJ. How you doing? Brent, name one place you didn't want to go to that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Well, good evening, Alex and the net. It's a very difficult question because I enjoy most places that I go to. But I would have to say on an airplane, was deathly afraid of going with my parents and family to Helena, Montana. First time on an airplane, but ended up really enjoying it. It pretty much became an aviation and flight sim nut my life. So back to you and ready for my question.
Well, that's good, Brent. Once you got over your fear of dying in a fiery, blood-soaked crash, you probably that's my wife is still terrified to fly. She only does it if absolutely necessary for business, and I guess I don't blame her, not because of the flying, but because of the TSA. But that's another story. Your question, Brent. If you eat too much of this spice over the holidays, it can cause hallucinations. Is it A, cinnamon, B, nutmeg, or C, allspice?
Well, Alex, what's amongst with the TSA thing? Gee, so it's a toss-up between nutmeg and cinnamon. I'll go with nutmeg. Bravo. KF6HDJ.
And the funny thing is, too much cinnamon can actually kill you if you get enough of it. Nutmeg, on the other hand, will just cause hallucinations and eventually kill you if you get too much of it. But there's a fine line there. Don't try this at home. And you're correct. Thanks. Thank you, Brett. All right, it's a W7 FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona. check-ins for the Surinac TrivaNet. Full call sign. Phonetically twice, please.
Whiskey, Bravo 7, Victor, Papa, India. Whiskey, Bravo 7, Victor, Papa, India.
November 7, Foxtrot, Golf, Papa. November 7, Foxtrot, Golf, Papa.
Victor Echo 3, Romeo Whiskey Juliet.
Foxtrot, Portable 1. Whiskey 1, Mike Whiskey Foxtrot, Portable 1.
Whiskey 9, Delta Whiskey Hotel. Whiskey 9, Delta Whiskey Hotel.
All right, then picked up 5 more. Wilton, Gresham, Morgan, WB7 VPI. Hey, welcome back, Wilton. 7 FGP, Scott in Houston. Welcome back, Scott. Chris in Lancaster. Glad you could make it. W1 MWF, Lawrence, East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. And W90WH, David in Owensboro, Kentucky. The question of the night. Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway. Wilton, Gresham, WB7 VPI.
Well, Alex, my goodness sakes, with back in the day when I was driving over the road, my 4.5 years of driving truck over the road here in the great, that is a wide open question. And I really can't come up with anything. I mean, hey, there's places in eastern Montana. There's been places in Texas and the southeast and the desert southwest, and there are even places like Chicago area I've been kind of sketch about going to. But once I get there, it's not so bad. But but a lot of those places I wouldn't want to stay there. I can't really answer. I've given you a few ideas. Can't really answer. But give me a question I can't answer. W7 VPI.
Well, I know, Wilt. You've been from Tucson to Tucumcari to Hatchapay to Tonopah, and you've driven every kind of rig that's ever been made and taken the back roads so you wouldn't get weighed. So I imagine you've seen a lot. Your question, though, is to help headache. You should A, recite your favorite poem, and B, have someone stroke your hair, or C, mix Texas medicine with railroad to get rid of that headache, folks.
Well, Alex, I think actually I probably try Bravo, have someone rub my hair, and so sad that a while ago you couldn't have asked me the question about Portland and the name and the coin toss, because I would have known it for sure. WV7 VPI.
Yeah, the luck of the draw in that case too. So you got it. Yeah, it's have someone stroke your hair to relieve a headache. Of course, you have to have someone to stroke your hair, but you can probably pay somebody to do it. When I get a headache, I take 2 aspirin and keep away from children, just like the instructions on the bottle says, and that works good too. So thanks, thank you, Walt. Scott in Houston, N7 FGP, another controller from another mother, and your question of the night is name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening, Alex, and everyone on the net. Well, I think my first wife drugged me to a Shakespeare play years ago. Didn't really think I was going to like it, but it wasn't that bad. Anyhow, I'm ready for a question.
And she mine also drugged me to the Nutcracker, which is an appropriate title, I guess. Yeah, your question is, former FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover once called this the home of disease, bribery, and rape. What we're talking about? A, motels, B, the FBI, or C, the U.S. Congress.
Let's go with Bravo. Thanks for doing the net tonight. N7FGP.
Would he have criticized his own agency? Yeah, probably. About what he called home of disease, bribery, and rape is motels. Yeah, motels. Yeah, that's... Well, duh. Anyway. Thank you, Scott. Chris Lancaster. V3RWJ. How you doing, Chris? Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway, like the United States, maybe.
I loved going to the States a lot. I don't know what to say about things now, but honestly, I don't like swimming. I never liked swimming as a kid. I should have done more of it, and maybe I would enjoy it more. So there you go, lakes, oceans, pools, all of it. No thanks. Ready for my trivia question.
Well, I do the joke about the little kid peeing in the pool, but I think I did that a few weeks ago. It's too soon. Your question is, what did Neil Armstrong say immediately before he said, "Eagle has landed"? What did he say right before that? A, tranquility base here. B, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Or C, where did all these damn rocks come from?
I'm going to guess A.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, tranquility base here. And then he said, Eagle landed. And one small step came later when he stepped out. And by the way, he did say one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. Somehow the A and for a man got cut out, and it sounded like he was repeating himself. But anyway, I think most people know that by now. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you being there, buddy. Let's go to Lawrence in East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, W1MWF. One place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway? W1MWF, Lawrence in Massachusetts. If you're still there, or I got your call sign wrong, let me know. Okay, then that's not over yet. Not over yet. That's not. David, Owensboro, Kentucky, W19WH. David, name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening, Alex and everyone. Well, I'm not a real big fan of musicals. You know, it's either music or it's a show, but I don't know. I just never did like musicals. But, you know, being a parent, one of our kids was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but they done in junior high. They almost had to be drugged there kicking, you know. But, you know, once I got there and, you know, you got started and everything, you know, I kind of enjoyed it, you know, because, you know, those kids were up there, you know, just, you know, having a ball and giving it to everything. So, oddly enough, I did end up coming away, you know, enjoying it.
I hear you on the musicals. My wife loves them, but I don't know that there are a couple that are kind of catchy. Anyway, your question is, What are you not allowed to do at a Quaker wedding? What is the no-no here? A, kiss the bride. B, take pictures. Or C, make oatmeal jokes.
Well, I reply for that, but you beat me to it. What was that? Let's see. I'm going to guess Bravo. Thanks for doing that, Alex. Always enjoy it, and back in control.
I stole your joke, did I, David? Yeah, sorry, but you are correct. You are not allowed at a Quaker wedding to take pictures. No pictures. No. Thank you, David. More check-ins, Cernak Trivia Net, full call sign phonetically twice, please.
Kilo India 7, Zulu Romeo India. Kilo India 7, Zulu Romeo India.
Hello, Don, KI70I in Kennewick, Washington, and Dorothy here. Question of the night. Name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway. Now, you guys have been all over the place. What do you say?
Alex, I would have to say to bed at 9 o'clock when I was a kid. But now, 30 plus years later, I'm very happy to go to bed by 9 p.m. KI70I.
That's funny. Funny how that works, too, isn't it? All right, Don, your question is, hey, you like to shop at IKEA? IKEA's Swedish meatballs served in their cafeteria, A, contain only 50% beef, B, contain horse meat, or C, travel a long, confusing, complicated maze-like path through your digestive system before exiting your colon. What about those Swedish meatballs, Don?
Even though Charlie is true, I'm going to go with Alpha, KI70I. Thanks for doing that. I moved out to All-Star Link 3, so I'm not sure how I'm coming in, but hopefully okay. KI70I.
Oh, yeah, buddy, loud and proud. Actually, a little over-deviated, so a little bit high. So, but other than that, I can hear you. That's what counts. And no, IKEA Swedish meatballs contain horse meat. Yeah, it's B. And independent testing found trace amounts in 2013. They've cleaned that up, and the question no longer applies. Thanks for being there, guys. All right, taking more check-ins. Cernak Trivia Net, full call sign phonetically twice, please.
November 2, Delta Golf Tango. November 2, Delta Golf Tango.
We picked up Dan in Patterson, New York, into DGT. I was trying to stall on the here, Dan. I know you don't check until later, but here you are. And the question of the night: name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway.
Good evening, Alex, and thank you. I appreciate that, and hello to everybody on the net. I was thinking, nothing really comes to mind. Travel around and see places, and nothing that I didn't ever really want to go to. But anyways, so what do you have for me tonight?
All right, Dan, your question is, a few years ago, People magazine reported that a police dispatcher received a 911 call from a frantic woman who had received a package from Amazon that contained A, a bomb, B, body parts, or C, styrofoam packing peanuts.
Oh, wow. Given the way that things are nowadays, let's go with Charlie. Alex, thanks for N2BGT.
Dan, you have your finger on the pulse of the public, and yeah, it's correct. The woman called 991 after 9. That wouldn't work. 911 after receiving a package from Amazon that contained styrofoam packing peanuts because her son was allergic to peanuts. As comedian Bill Engvall would say, here's your sign. Taking more check-ins, Saturday Night Trivia Net, full call signs identically twice, please. Thanks, Dan.
Echo 8, Victor, November. Kilo, Echo 8, Victor, November.
Kilo, India 5, Whiskey, Uniform. KI5WWU.
All right, then picked up two more. Kevin in Freeport, Michigan, K8VN. Welcome back. And Lynn in Houston, Texas, KI5WW. Welcome back to you. Question of the night, name one place you didn't want to go to that you wound up enjoying anyway. Come on. Bad places are, why is it drugged a stew? Drugged, well, you know what I mean. Taking a stew and we found out we liked later. Kevin in Freeport, or maybe not. What do you say, K8VN?
KVN here. Yeah, the one thing she always wanted to do was go on a cruise, and I just wasn't my thing. But yeah, I love it now. Now we go twice a year. KVN, back to you.
Yeah, mine would like to do that too, and I keep telling her you got to be careful these days, but I guess it's mostly not a problem anymore. So your question, Kevin, is, okay, name that tune. This is kind of a difficult one. Nothing worth having comes with some kind of fight. Got to kick at the darkness until it bleeds to daylight. Pretty darn good lyrics. Is that from A, Hard Rains Are Gonna Fall by Bob Dylan? B, Love Dangerous Time by Bruce Cockburn? Or C, I'm Into Something Good by Herman's Hermits? What do you say, Kevin?
EAVN here. Yeah, I'm going to go with B on that one. Back to that.
Yeah, that's right. Lovers in a Dangerous Time by Bruce Cockburn. Really, well, the guy could write lyrics. Anyway, thanks. Thank you, Kevin. Lynn in Houston, KI5WW. One place you didn't want to go that you enjoyed anyway. What say you?
Good evening, Alex. Thanks for running the net. That would be Broadway musicals with my daughter. She wanted to go up to New York and go to a few. I was going, okay, let's be dad duty. But I ended up really liking them. It's been, several years in a row after that. So, question. Back to you, sir.
Lord, they love their musicals. My daughters, too. Your question, though, Lynn, is in Middle China, children up to 7 years old were A, breastfed, B, forced to work in the rice paddy, or C, forced to work for Nike.
Oh, yes, bravo on that one. Thanks for running the net. KI5WW, back to you.
I have to give that one to you because that's true too. Actually, A and B are both true. In medieval China, children up to 7 years old are also breastfed and forced to work in the rice paddies. But at least they got breastfed. Thanks, so. Thank you, Lynn. More check-ins, Saturday night trivia. Phonetically twice, please. You can check in Saturday night trivia net full call sign phonetically twice, please. Oh, already then. We got 30 tonight, kind of a light night, but not too bad. I think almost everybody got their question correct. Let's see how we did. Yes, so the people who answered questions and weren't in and out, we had 20 people got their question correct, and only 8 people missed their question tonight. And as far as the question of the night on, let's see, name one place you didn't want to go that you wound up enjoying anyway. Well, of course, they were all over the board. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I thought none of the above was leading, but it looks like Death Valley got 4, so that is interesting in itself. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody who participated tonight, with special thanks, of course, to Vicky, K8VKY, for logging that in the background, and N7OK and John for use of his Mesa, Arizona repeater. We now return control of the East Coast Reflector back to you. Until next week at the same time, when the control voice will take you to Eddie Unit 73W7 FTM clear, and good night.